Hello there. Today is day 34 of working on a currently untitled project. So let's hop right in. So today I tested out a fade between the wall fragments, the segments, and it actually looks surprisingly okay. It's not like it does emphasize the modular nature, but it's not unreasonable. I don't think I like it. Push come to shove, because like you can see through the gaps and you can see the more intense lines and such, and I don't want that because it makes them feel hollow inside, and that's not the feeling I want to give exactly. But it does work. Another thing I fixed is there's a bug where if you had a steep camera angle, like over here, then the rim lighting on the Wanderers would show up on the top section, and that has now been fixed. And I've also made it uniform around the sides. I don't know why I didn't do it the way that I'm doing it now earlier. I was doing some other calculation first, then I started doing this proper rim lighting calculation, and now I'm just saying, hey, just take the Y value, because that's the Y value of the normal, because that's actually all that I need, and just use that. I actually think I can get away with using the Z vertex normal. Yep, that looks correct. So there you go. Not getting into rambles just yet. There was one other big thing that I did today, and that is this guy. This is a single merged mesh that was the entire room. He also has 148 materials on him, which means that the inspector lags horrifically whenever you select this guy. And it can only get worse from here. So I'm gonna turn that off for now and bring back the wall segments, which are conveniently just right there. Yeah, so that mesh right there is the first step towards doing the full merge of the not just the merge, but also the vertex fixing that I talked about yesterday, where because I'm making it into one mesh, it'll all use the same transform, and then I can set the vertices to be equal to each other, and then that will just the result of that will be that there are no gaps in the meshes, or in the triangles, so there will be excuse me. There will be no more gaps or overlaps, and I don't have to do this other solution here where I add in this gap. Do these? Yeah, for some reason these guys are now using instances of the material. That's a little unfortunate. But I can still show what I'm talking about by just popping out of the editor and going over here and just, I can seal everything back up properly without issue, because there's not going to be any gaps or overlaps. That also has an interesting possibility that was brought up, because today I also Oh, well, I should say that this is now getting into the ramble section, so if you just want the core stuff, feel free to click off. If you want to listen to me ramble, you've already gotten to that point, I guess, so feel free to stick around. So I had a long chat today with an art friend, not the same art friend I was referring to previously. This is one who I just introduced to the project, and I got some ideas for the walls. This is the reason that why I'm pushing for the merging tech right now is excuse me again. I'll be able to do some interesting stuff by setting the vertex colors and either moving them around a bit or just changing up the colors and having something interesting based on the vertex colors. I'm still not exactly sure what or exactly how this will work out. But I'm looking forward to experimenting some. There's a lot that can be done with something like this. Excuse me, yet again. But this is certainly worth experimentation. The other thing is that we both agreed patterns on the walls need to be more dynamic rather than something static like the textures that I showed off yesterday. As noted, I have some ideas for that, but need to do a lot of work to get there. The other thing that was interesting is I found while I was dealing with the mesh merging code. This will take a moment to compile. I just found something surprising. I can render lines. If I just go ahead and show this off, I can now render lines, which is interesting. This is obviously not correct because this looks like trash, but it's interesting. It's a tool that I now have in my toolbox, and I'm thankful that I have that tool. Interesting. It appears that it's for some reason it's offset vertically. That's weird. That's probably not just a bug of the setting the topology either. That's strange. Anyways though, it's saying drawing lines is now a tool that I have in my tool belt. I can make meshes that will draw lines instead of triangles, and I like that, because I was wondering, how do I draw lines that will be 1 pixel thick even when you zoom in or zoom out? And this is how, apparently. Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is after I do this last pass on the walls, I need to move on from art for a while. I've already spent like 10 or 11 days on this, and there's just so many other things I need to be doing, and I need to make progress elsewhere just for my own sanity, because there's so much else to do on art, but there's also so much else to do for for so many other things. And yeah, for some reason this is just offset on the y-axis. Why is that? It shouldn't be. Because this is assumed to be at 000 locally. That's why this is bugged out. It's not 1 unit up, it's half a unit up. Okay. I can fix that, yeah. I just need to know that that existed as a bug. Yep. And then just go ahead and apply Alt. And then that should apply over here. And then that should fix the bug. And there we go. That looks better. I'm still so happy with the dot effect on the Wanderers. I know I say that literally every time, but I am just very, very happy about it. I think it looks really good. I'm still wondering if the fragments for the Wanderer death should like die based on purely which one was closest, with some amount of random factored in, or if they should die based on volume. Because when they die based on volume, you always see that big fragment as the last fragment that dies. And all the small ones vanish really early. And I'm just not sure which one looks better. I think I may just need to test them side by side and yeah, just do that a bunch and get some idea that way. Cause I'm unsure. Anyways, I've been rambling for a while and I don't think I have anything else left here. Yeah, if you have any comments, questions, ideas, or anything else on your mind, leave a comment below. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.